Welcome to Business 204 Business Statistics. I'm your instructor, Dr. Annie No, and this is a video going over the course as well as a tour of our Canvas portal. So here we are on our home page, and so you'll notice I've got some quick buttons that will take you to various places in our course, as well as some instructions on how to navigate Canvas. To access the module for each week, you'll want to click on the Weekly Modules button here, or you can click on the Modules button here on the left side. You'll want to make sure to check the calendar and coming up sections in Canvas regularly so you know when assignments are due. The calendar button can be found on the left-hand side of the screen, and the coming up or the to-do list is over here on the right-hand side. I also send out a weekly reminder on Mondays each week that you'll get by email, but you can also find them in the announcements page using the announcements button right here. Any additional announcements will be released throughout the week via email and the announcements page. Quick access to the syllabus and the research project for our course can also be found right here. And then down below here, you'll notice that I do have a glossary of the statistic symbols that we use throughout the semester. So that's an easy reference tool for you. I'll go ahead and click on the syllabus button here. So here's the course syllabus page. There's a brief introduction to the course as well as my contact information right here. And then if you scroll down right here, you'll see a link to the full syllabus that you should download and review carefully, and let me know if you have any questions. Scrolling down, you'll also see the course description, course details, as well as course objectives and student learning outcome. And more importantly, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, here's the course summary. I've already set up the course in its entirety in Canvas, so you can find all of the deadlines and assignment due dates here, so you'll know what to expect for the semester, and so you can plan accordingly. I'll go ahead and click back. And so let's go ahead and look at our weekly modules. I'm going to go ahead and click right here. And so the first module you'll see is our course orientation and resources module. So in this module, you'll see all of the resources available regarding our course, and you should click through and read through them. I'll go into more depth into this module in just a moment. Scrolling down further, you'll also see a second module called the Airbnb Research Project module. This is the project that we'll be working on throughout the semester. So all of the materials for that can be found in here. Videos, resources, but also the assignments. So I break up the project into multiple parts throughout the semester to spread out the work so you're not cramming it all in at the end of the semester. It is a group project. Scrolling to the next module, you'll see some resources, a link to my YouTube channel, which has all the videos for our course, some outside resources on statistics, as well as some Excel resources and general math tutorials as well. Scrolling down, you'll also notice I've got the first few modules open for week 1 and 2. So you can see all of the material that I have in there, resources. But let's go through the course orientation and resources module first. I'm just going to click here on the first link. Here's a brief overview of our course. Now note, hybrid courses are the best of both worlds. We meet on Wednesdays at 1:30 to 2:45 in OC 4803A. So you'll want to familiarize yourself with the course orientation and resources module before coming to class, as well as the syllabus. Hybrid courses aren't for everybody. Even though we meet once a week, you are responsible for everything else outside of that class meeting. Reading the materials, watching video lectures, completing assignments. So it's really important that you keep up with the material. To be successful in this course, you need good, strong, independent study and comprehensive reading skills, and the self-motivation to stick to the schedule. As you go through the material on your own, make sure to assess your understanding and identify any content areas you need help with. And you can ask me questions during office hours, by email, or bring your questions to class when we meet once a week. I'll go ahead and click Next. Here's a Get to Know the Instructor page. It's got my contact info as well as office hours and my teaching philosophy and my background. So check that out. And then clicking Next. And so you'll see I have a YouTube channel with all of the videos for our course. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, but all of the videos can be found in Canvas as well. So here's the weekly expectations. Again, our course is structured in modules, so it'll help you organize all the activities you have to do each week. Again, this is a hybrid course. I don't lecture in my on-campus courses the entire time. It's very interactive. So I don't simply record a 2.5 hour long lecture, but rather I've got short videos on the various concepts and interactive tutorials using practice problem worksheets and Excel. So you'll be doing that at home on your own. And then on Wednesdays when we meet in class, it's going to be a very hands-on approach to learning the material. Again, you'll want to keep up with the material. If you're not doing the prep work before meeting on Wednesday classes won't make sense. So prior to attending class, the expectations are you should have read the chapter for the week, watched the lecture videos, including any practice problem worksheets. You can try the quiz if you want and any of the homework, or you can just wait for our Wednesday class session. On Wednesdays, our class sessions are intended to focus on the application of your learning. So we're doing the work as well as answering any student questions about the course material. We'll be working through some problems. We'll be working on a project. Again, I do not lecture in class. So the general structure for the week is that you should read the assigned chapter, watch the lecture videos, and complete the chapter practice problems worksheet along with it. Bring your completed worksheet and any questions about the chapter to class on Wednesdays for discussion, and be ready to do hands-on work using Excel or our project. There's a reading quiz that we do in class on Wednesdays. You do get 2 tries on the quizzes, so you can either do the quiz once before coming to class and then doing it in class with your peers, or you can do the quiz for the first time in class and then save your second attempt after the class to improve your score. When we do the quizzes in class, it is done in groups, so you get to work with your peers, or you can work alone if you prefer. And then the MyLab Stats homework is due on Tuesdays at 11 p.m. These are worth 20 points per assignment. Some weeks have additional assignments related to our project. Only one member needs to submit on behalf of the group, but I'll go over the project in class. Any other resources like the exams, study guides, practice exams can be found in the corresponding module. My assignment deadline and late work policy is that the MyLab Stats homework assignments have a 2-day grace period, meaning you need an extra day or two. Feel free to take it. Perhaps you had a busy weekend, or you needed to meet with me during office hours first, or a tutor, anything at all. Just take it. You don't have to tell me or ask for it. If you are still having trouble completing the homework assignment beyond the 2-day grace period, you need to come see me during office hours or email me for help. The research project assignments are late if submitted after the due dates. So if you know you're going to need an extension for any reason at all, please contact me in advance. I can accommodate if we're proactive about it. Clicking next. Here's the information on the required textbook and technology and how to register. So the required textbook is Business Statistics by Grosvenor, Shannon, and Fry. I recommend getting the loose leaf textbook with access code from the MiraCosta bookstore. Or if you don't need the loose leaf, you can just buy the ebook with access code. It's a few bucks cheaper. The instructions are down here below. Please do not buy your book from Amazon. It will not have our access code to MyLab Stats, which is where you do all your homework. You can take advantage of the 14-day free trial to access the materials if you want to check out the book before you buy, because there are no refunds after you buy the textbook. You do need access to the text and the assignments for the first week, so that's where the 14-day free trial comes in handy. For the technology, you need Excel and internet access. You can either buy Microsoft Office using this link here for $40. It'll give you Excel, PowerPoint, everything in the Office suite. You just need to provide them your course schedule to prove that you're a student to get the student price. You can also use computers at the San Alejo or Oceanside MiraCosta libraries. I also have a link that will let you virtually connect to MiraCosta's computers, which have Excel. So that's a free option that you can use so that you don't have to buy Excel if you don't want to. You can also use StatCrunch in MyLab Stats, but I don't teach with it because businesses don't use StatCrunch. They don't even know what it is. Businesses use Excel. One last option is you can check out a laptop from the MiraCosta Library for 7 days, and that will have Excel on it. You just have to wait 24 hours between checkouts. And then you can click here to sign up for the laptop. Note that it's not possible to pass this course without access to MyLab Stats and Excel. I've had students try, and they have all unfortunately had to withdraw from the course, or they ended up failing, because without MyLab Stats, you don't do the homework, and that's a big part of the course grade, but you're also not getting the practice, and so you end up not doing well on the exams. And then, of course, you need Excel, because most of the work we do is in Excel. We don't do much by hand. We work in Excel just like we would in a business. Scrolling down, here are the instructions for registering MyLab. Note that Safari on Mac does not work well with MyLab Stats, so don't try. Please use Chrome or Firefox, and please do not attempt to register directly through the publisher's website. You have to access it through Canvas. So follow the instructions here, or you can watch the video that walks you through how to register. On this next page, I've got some helpful tips on how to succeed on MyLab Statistics. Please read through these. It will make your life in MyLab Stats a whole lot easier. I've also included a video highlighting some of these tips that you can watch through as well. I'm going to go and click on Next. Here are the instructions on how to add VMware. Again, this is the virtual desktop that lets you connect to a MiraCosta computer, which has Excel for free, so you don't have to buy it, along with some tips here on how to use VMware successfully. I've also got instructions on how to add the Excel Data Analysis Tool Pack, which will let us do advanced statistical analyses in our course. There's a link for Windows or for Mac. I've also got some tutoring workshops and help desk resources on a page here that you can click and check out. I have a page on advice from past students regarding homework, math and vocab, working in groups, class participation, videos and tech, and quizzes and exams. So if you want to do well in the class, I recommend reviewing these tips. It'll help make your experience in the course go a lot more smoothly. I do have an extra credit opportunity. It's a newspaper article analysis. It's worth 20 points. So essentially it can cover a homework assignment if you miss it, or help you out if you're not doing so well on exams. Just read through the assignment. Each bullet is a criteria that is worth 5 points. If you have any questions on this extra credit opportunity, just contact me and ask. I also have another extra credit opportunity. If you attend an accounting and business club and do a brief write-up on it, on what you learned, you can earn 5 points, and most meetings have pizza. At the end of each module, there'll be an end of module page that lets you know you've completed everything in that particular module. There's also a link to contact me, as well as to go back to the home page. Looking at the week 1 module, I've got some extra resources in here to make sure you know what to expect. But again, I've got the instructions on how to register. I've got a PDF of the chapter 1 so that you can read while you wait for your book. But I'm going to go ahead and click on the chapter 1 video lectures. And so you can see I've added it to your to-do list so you'll know when it's due. But after you read chapter 1, you'll want to watch the video lectures before coming to class, and I do have a PDF version of the lecture if you want to follow along and take notes. In the subsequent chapters, there'll also be a worksheet that you have to fill out while you're watching the videos, and you'll bring it to class for participation credit. I'll talk about that in class, but there is no practice problems worksheet for chapter 1, as it's primarily a chapter on vocab and some of the important terms that you'll learn about for the course. Again, I've got the instructions on VMware and Data Analysis Tool Pack at the end of every chapter resources page. I'll go ahead and go back to our module. Otherwise, you can see in the module there's a link to the quiz, a link to the homework, and again, I remind you to check out the helpful tips so you do well in MyLab Stats. But if we scroll down to chapter 2, you'll see what a typical week looks like. There's the video lectures that you'll watch before coming to class. Once you're in class, I usually have a link to materials that you need, like an Excel file that we'll be working on in class together. There's a link to the quiz. I include the helpful tips again, really to make sure you check it out, but you won't see it in subsequent modules. The link to the chapter 2 and then the end of module page. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you in class.